We are doing the lab titled Preparation of Parent. Okay, so this is mixing
Send me just as what yours looks like.
of 10 millimoles of the acid component and millimeter of 3 molar ACL.
I'll give you mine. Oh, did I have you from before? I just need the last two. I have all the last
I have, yeah, I have some of it. I have enough free pass.
Okay. Okay, so then,
Yeah, I have good ones.
Oh, action. Okay. The diazo did not fully dissolve, so we're adding heat,
10 milliliters of water.
as well as 10 milliliters of water in order to help it fully dissolve.
So add heat. That's not
It's just I'm gonna stir a little bit just to make sure it's evenly distributed. Gently adding some water, washing the side. And we're gonna continue doing this until it fully dissolves. Now we are cooling the solution to approximately 5 degrees Celsius while gently stirring it. That's because the diazo has mostly dissolved in the solution, so it's ready to be cooled. There we go. This will cause the amino to precipitate, but since it's being stirred, it will also diazotize at the same time. Now that the solution is approaching 5 degrees Celsius, we will be adding 10 milliliters of sodium nitrite slowly in order to keep the temperature from rising. Wait, stop. From rising over 10 degrees Celsius. We used that a little bit and increased, so we're gonna allow it for it to come back down to 5 degrees Celsius, and then we will be adding more sodium nitrite. Yeah. But we don't want to have. Alright, looks good. It seems the reaction is exothermic here, guys. And that's the last bit of it. Yep. Perfect. Now we just wait for it to stir a little bit more. Now that the solution has been mixed with the sodium nitrite, we'll be testing it using the potassium iodide starch test paper. We're looking for a dark blue or blackish color. It looks pretty good. It's definitely a dark bluish, purplish, black color. So I think we're going to test it one more time. just to make sure that we're being consistent here.
Some of the paper is already turning red.
It looks good. Looks very good. Now we are dividing our solution the best we can into two somewhat equal parts. This is being done very carefully using the best known method of adding a little bit more, a little bit less. That looks pretty good. Now we have to add a little bit more over here. And that's sufficient enough for our purposes. Now we would start preparing to couple with the phenol, with the 10 millimoles of phenol. Now we will be adding the 10 millimoles of the phenol, which happens to be 2 naphthol, which is about 1.44 grams. We'll be mixing that with 20 milliliters of sodium hydroxide, of 2 molar sodium hydroxide. Just a little bit of stirring just to make sure that the phenol is suspended, completely suspended in the solution. And then we'll be proceeding to cooling the solution in a nice water bath. After labeling the two flasks C1 and C2, I will be attempting to divide them into two equal parts. Once again, the good old trusted how's it look method. It looks pretty good. We have about two equal parts. And this right here, once again, is our phenol and our sodium hydroxide solution. And we will be mixing this with our diazo solution that we cultivated earlier. We will be mixing D1 and C1, and then we'll be putting it in an ice bath for about 15 minutes or so. Look at that, it looks pretty, don't it? We have a little bit of stuff in here. I'm gonna scoop your lid out. There we go. And I'm going to use a little bit of sort of scoop out as much as we can here. Then we're gonna put in the ice bath. This is pretty rad. For about 15 minutes or so. Now that we have let the solution cool for 15 minutes, we're going to vacuum filtrate it. With a little bit of help from water, we are trying to get the walls of the aluminum flask nice and clean. The water will also help some of the dye run down into the vacuum flask.
Yeah, I'm doing that. It's not. iOS 7, so I don't know how anything.
Alright, so with the help of the scrupula, we're just kind of scraping the bottom so the vacuum could not be clogged up by all of these sludge that is being formed. And we got pretty much all the dye we're gonna get out of this batch. We pretty much just got it all out. This is pretty much done. This is just the second batch of the dye. Since we didn't need to go ahead and do part B, we decided to just mix our C2 and our D2. This is what we got. It's pretty much the same thing. It's a little bit brighter red. It's not as dark. But it'll give us a lot more dye. About twice as much.
Oh, sorry. It's like the wrong day to wear white. If it is. Sorry. That just looks so good.
Wow, look at that vapor in there. See it? Record it. Record it. It's like vapor. Huh? Look at it from the side. Just cleaning. Pretty much just make sure we clean everything with water and acetone as needed. And that's pretty much how you prepare the para red dye. Using your iozo and your phenol. To see how much we have left over, so we can calculate our percentage yield. And pretty much just to see what our product is.
I understand after like 7 words.
She just never finishes her
But I did go to school. Like, I don't understand.
And it weighs 7.786 grams.
You found it?